He is very manipulative. He's a narcissist and he's controlling, and I won't settle for that. I don't want that to be my life.
State calls Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, please state your full name.
Lokita Brown?
And Ms. Brown, you're the mother of Kian Kinman and Daniel Kinman?
Yes.
And you participated in a child support review conference and agreed to a child support review order suit affecting the parent-child relationship AOP on or around October 16th of 2024?
Yes.
Are you still in agreement to that order?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to approve that order today?
Yes.
And Ms. Kinman, you do reside in Chambers County, is that correct?
Ms. Brown, I reside
I'm sorry, Ms. Brown, I'm so sorry.
I do reside in Chambers County.
I passed the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll call your next witness.
The state calls Mr. Kinman. Mr. Kinman, please state your full name.
Kinman.
And Mr. Kinman, there was a child support review order suit affecting the parent-child relationship AOP that was negotiated October 16th of 2024. And you requested a hearing on this proposed order?
Yes, ma'am. Whatever y'all had going on before me, I didn't get these papers until around November. They wasn't given to me. They was left with my mother's husband, and that's when I got the papers.
And sir, you had a chance to review this order? Or
Of the
the
paperwork that
proposed
I
order?
received, yes, ma'am. Of the paperwork that I received from my mother's husband, yes, I reviewed that.
And is there anything about this order that you agreed to?
No, ma'am.
Are you the father of Kayan and Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign an acknowledgement of paternity for both these children?
You talking about as far as when they were she was given they were
On
given
or
birth?
around when they were born, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you denying that you're dad and you have a duty to support these children?
Oh, I'm not denying that I'm a father. I'm denying as far as having to give their mother any financial proceeds from out of, my financial gain is, to take care of my kids because I'm well equipped of doing it on my own like I've always been doing.
So, Mr. Kinman, is it that you don't agree to the financial parts of the order? Is that correct?
Yeah, even with the whole back pay as well.
So you don't agree to the back pay, the child support, the
Yes,
medical support?
Yes, ma'am. As far as them the medical needs, dental needs, I'm willing to support any of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not in agreement as far as giving her anything as far as any type of money.
Now the proposed order does have that you guys are joint managing conservators. Are you in agreement to that?
I would disagree because my kids actually live with their grandmother. They was living with their grandmother before she actually moved in with them. So I would say that my kids is under her roof and her guidance and supervision.
So you don't want to work with Miss Brown to make day-to-day decisions for your children?
Under no circumstances. I've already tried to attempt these things. And I could not get these things done. It's always been a nitpicking thing that I did not want to associate myself with due to the fact that she don't know how to speak to me as her kid's father. So in that matter, I don't want to deal with. I would rather deal with her grandmother like I was doing before she actually moved in and interrupted those things.
So you're saying you don't want Miss Brown to be a conservator of the children?
Oh, she gonna always be their mother. Like I'm not saying
No.
I'm not taking that away from her. I'm not saying
Are
that.
you saying the children were living with a grandmother? I don't know whose mother it is. And then
That's her
Miss
mother.
Brown moved in with that woman, the grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what time frame are we talking? When did she move in with the grandmother?
I'm pretty sure that she can provide that for you.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I asked you though, sir.
I'm not
If
familiar.
you don't know, you can say you're not sure. I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah, I'm not for sure of the dates, Judge.
Right now, you're the witness, so you're the person I can ask.
Yes, ma'am. But I am 100% guaranteed that my kids live with their grandmother before they moved to that residence, and she moved in. Basically taking one of the kids' bedrooms, so they share a room at the moment. So yeah, no, I don't agree with it. I'm willing to work with her mother under any circumstances. Me and her mother got along until she moved in, and she blocked all of my contact with her mother as well as with my kids. I'm just not getting off of the block list and having any type of contact with my kids here in around November 3rd.
Of what year are we talking?
2024.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear you.
Okay. Has CPS been involved with any of you?
No,
No.
ma'am.
You may continue, Mr. Monty.
Mr. Kinman, you said CPS was involved?
No, ma'am. I said, no, ma'am. They were
Oh, I'm
not.
sorry.
Yeah, because I didn't think they needed to be involved. They lived with their grandmother. I was able to come over there and visit my kids, spend as much time with my kids without any interruptions or confrontation. But when she moved in, those things changed completely. Completely.
So, Mr. Kinman, this proposed order has the standard possession and access order. You're not in agreement to have the standard possession and access?
I tried the bare minimum to even the smallest thing to even was try. I've tried it all.
So you want the court to limit your visits with the children?
No, I would like more access. That's not what I'm saying, ma'am. That's not what I'm saying.
You want more than what's in the standard possession?
Yes, ma'am. Me and my kids, we spoke every day up until, she blocked my contact in August of 2024 before they started school. And I didn't get another contact from them until November 3rd when they called my mother. And she called me while I was working at the moment. And that's how I spoke with my kids.
And Mr. Kinman, in regards to the child support amount, the proposed order has gross monthly resources for you of $2,265 a month. Are you currently working?
No, ma'am.
And when was the last time you worked?
In December,
And where did you work?
I worked for Mary Resources.
And what did you do for that company?
I worked at the chemical plant.
And what was your job title?
I was a liquid blender.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you have your device a little closer to you, maybe?
I was a liquid blender.
Liquid blender. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Hazmat material, chemicals, and stuff like that.
And how were you paid? Were you paid hourly, salary?
Yeah, I was paid hourly.
How much were you paid hourly?
At the moment, it was 18.
How much?
At the moment, it was 18.
And how many hours a week did you work?
40 hours.
And what happened with that job?
I had too much going on. This came into my life, and a bunch of other personal things came into my life at that moment. And, I needed to leave work at that moment, but it ended up requiring me to actually lose my job because I was really needed at the moment.
Once again, sir, I can no longer understand anything you're saying. I don't know what, maybe it's because you're moving. It's very muffled.
I said I had a lot of personal things going on in my life at the moment, like with this news popping up and other personal things, and I needed to leave work at the moment. And due to me leaving work when I was really needed, hey, I lost my job due to that because I was a lead man in my position.
Did you just say you stopped, but you had to take off time because this lawsuit and because you lose your job?
Yeah, this is one of the things that came up. So it was multiple other things that came up, and it was real frustrating that day. And I needed to leave because I couldn't work under those circumstances. And I guess my supervisor, he wasn't too pleased with it because, like I said, I was the leader of my area, of my department, and hey, this is the suggestion they came up with.
Are you currently getting any kind of unemployment benefits?
Yes, ma'am.
How much are you getting in unemployment?
I think it's like $9.55 every 2 weeks. No, $9.05 every 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
Do you have any other children that's
No,
not
ma'am.
on this case?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any health insurance, dental insurance?
No, ma'am. Not at the moment. I do not.
You understand the proposed order has Ms. Brown carrying the insurance for the children, medical and dental?
Yeah, I see that it was listed in the paperwork that I have.
And you're not in agreement for her to carry
Well,
the
no, if
medical
she,
and dental?
no, if she's actually doing it, and it's actually, you know what I'm saying, they actually can actually go physically get those things taken care of when they need it, then I'm fine with that. You know, and if, you know, when I start working, if she don't mind them coming over here and I take care of that, if she's okay with that, hey, we can work that out, you know? It's no issue on my
So
end.
so you would be okay with reimbursing for the
Yeah,
medical at $108 a month for the
yes, ma'am.
children,
Yes, ma'am.
and the dental at $39 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the dental is a little bit more than the 1.5%, but you're okay with carrying the dental at a cost, or I'm sorry, reimbursing the $39?
And what's the difference? I know you said it's a little bit more. What's the difference?
$29, so $10.
It's fine, man. So you said it'd be $39.
$39 for dental per the proposed order, and $108 for the medical.
Okay.
Did you provide financial support for your children?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I always do. My kids always can call me and get whatever they need from me.
Now, there's a proposed retroactive child support amount in the proposed order, $14,430.
What's your question about it?
Do you disagree with that
Oh, in the
back
back?
child support amount?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
provide financial support for the children?
Yeah, their entire life. I've never stopped until, you know, like I said, previous when I was speaking, until August of maybe 17th of 2024 up until November 3rd of 2024, you know, up until that time. I was waiting for this court to where, you know, we can actually move forward and I can actually be able to see my kids, you know.
You were providing financial support to Ms. Brown for the children?
No, to my kids.
No, but you were giving her money for the kids,
No, ma'am.
or somebody else?
No, ma'am. I was not giving her any money.
How were you supporting the children?
If they ever called me and needed money, hey, I'll be there for that. I've never turned my head. If they need it, hey, if I have it, they have it. She knows this. As long as I've been alive, I've never not done for my kids. She can be a witness of that.
Were you and Miss Brown together in a relationship?
Yeah, we ended that. I ended it in 2015. Yes, ma'am. We were together for 10 years.
So the proposed order retroactive child support period is from November 1st of 2020 through October 16th of 2024. Did you provide support for the children during that time?
I never stopped, man.
And this is financial support.
Yes, ma'am. I never stopped. Like I said, I've been waiting on us, you know, go ahead and get this court thing out of the way. That way, you know, hey, I can come see my kids, you know, without it being an issue. I can call my kids and hope that it won't be an issue. I hate that it's no financial gain, you know, involved, but you know, hey.
And so are you saying to the court that you should not be ordered to pay any back child support?
If possible, yes. If we can actually, if I'm going to be placed on child support, hey, we can actually start it from me actually getting these papers here now and going forward, you know. I'm not opposed of, having to pay the child support. Hey, this is where we at now. So I have an understanding of that. But I've always taken care of my kids. Like, I've never not done that.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Do you have any further witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could go back to Ms. Brown and ask her some questions.
You may.
Ms. Brown, in the proposed order, there is a retroactive child support judgment of $14,430 for the period between November 1st, 2020 to October 16th of 2024. Did Mr. Kinman provide any financial support for the children during that time?
Where were the children living during that time? I'm totally confused.
Okay, I'm sorry for disrupting you. But okay, so this is the thing. Whenever me and Kenneth split up, we have been having issues from that point going forward until still to this day. He is very manipulative. He's a narcissist and he's controlling, and I won't settle for that. I don't want that to be my life. So my mother was my only help. Is my only help. So my mother, I let my mother take on the role of talking to him and dealing with him because I couldn't. It was stressful. So my mother and me having a full-time job, working 8-hour shifts, and during the time that my kids go to school, my mother was a cafeteria worker at the children's school. So it was convenient for her to help me. It was never under any circumstances said that they are supposed to live there with her. She was my help. My mother bought a new house in Baytown in Chambers County, and the kids loved the area, so they wanted to move out here with her. That was 2 years ago. So my mother also has heart failure. Her husband was sick. So I've always had an apartment. I had a 2-bedroom. The boys had their own 2 beds, but they were out here all the time. So I decided instead of me paying $1,300 a month in rent, I just need to go out there with my mom because she needs the help anyway. And her husband. Her husband just passed on Thanksgiving. My mom is getting ready to have a heart transplant. Like, it's never been the thing where she was ever supposed to take care of my kids. I never signed anything saying that she's the custodial parent or I'm giving guardianship to anybody. Minus the fact he wants to manipulate my mom, or he's very controlling. He wants control over everything. So he bought the bed and just said, okay, y'all supposed to be over here and not out there with y'all mom. That's how it's kind of like a back and forth with the kids. He plays mind games and it's very confusing to my kids. So I just backed up a little bit because I don't want to be that person. And in the meantime, during that process, like, it cost me my relationship with my kids because I backed up. But he doesn't pick them up for haircuts. He don't send any money for haircuts. Like, my mother has to do all that. She doesn't have it in her to do that. She can't do all that by herself.
Ms. Brown, I'm going to have you stop. Ms. Damani, I'm not sure why this got filed as a non-agreed CSRP, but I have no idea what's happening in this case. I'm completely confused.
He doesn't help me at all. He doesn't help my mom.
Ms. Brown, please stop interrupting. I'm thinking you should treat this like you would a regular pleading, because I have no idea.
But to answer your question, Judge, the kids live with their grandmother.
No, I did not ask that question, sir.
No, it was at the beginning.
Yes.
The kids live with me and my mom. My mom, husband just
Ma'am, this is not a back and forth conversation. Ms. Damani, I believe this is your pleading. So at this point, I don't know what you want to do, but this is your pleading for you to prove up.
Yes, Your Honor. I guess I'll start over and ask Ms. Brown questions if that's okay.
Yes. You may do so.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Brown, you and Mr. Kinman signed an acknowledgement of paternity on or around May 15th of
that they agreed to. That's the only thing they agreed to, is that they signed the AOP. So we don't need to cover that.
Okay. Ms. Brown, have your children ever not resided with you since they were born?
Yes, my kids have always lived with me. My mother was helping me. I cut off my conversation with him because we cannot talk, so I let my mother deal with him. It was never under any circumstances.
Ma'am, okay, I think you answered the question, Mr. Monty. If you can ask another question, it would be helpful. Because when people just go on and go beyond the question, it's very hard to follow.
Ms. Brown, do you have any problems with the standard possession and access order for Mr. Kinman?
No.
And you currently reside in Chambers County?
Yes.
And what insurance do the children have?
They have Aetna, my employee insurance.
And how much does it cost for the children?
It's so every 2 weeks it's taken out at least $80. I don't have my checks up here to look at the paperwork, but that's what I'm taking out every 2 weeks.
No,
Okay.
Mr.
Before we go down that path, I think Mr. Kinman agreed to pay cash medical and dental.
Yes, ma'am, I did. I agree with
So I'm
that.
not sure we need to cover that part. I think that's agreed to at this point.
Ms. Brown, you understand that Mr. Kinman testified to receiving unemployment at this time?
Yes.
And he testified to a payment amount of $905 every 2 weeks?
Yes.
Would you be in agreement to base the child support based on that amount?
No.
And
What
why
do you
is
mean
that?
what do you mean base that?
So
The bare
okay,
like the minimum?
so based on 905 every 2 weeks, I'm getting a gross monthly amount of $1,960.83. His credit for medical would be $108. His credit for dental would be $29. So that would make it be a total of $401 a month for child support. Would you be in agreement to that amount?
I just want some help with the kids. Whatever I can get to help me and these kids, then that's fine. It's not even for me. It's for the children. They need it. Like, I'm not getting anything from him. So whatever it is that he can give, I'll accept it.
We could have done this without the courts.
Sir, right now you're not on the witness stand.
Right.
Ms. Brown, when did you and Mr. Kinman separate?
2015.
And you testified that he did not provide any financial support?
He bought school clothes in the beginning of the year, and that's it.
And I'm sorry, let me go back. In the last 4 years, has he go back to 2021? Did he provide any financial support that year?
2021?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And what kind of financial support did he provide that time?
In 2021, we were together. He provided financial support with haircuts, getting our haircuts, helping out with that, school clothes, Christmas, just throughout the year, doing the regular things, food in the house, like doing the things that needed to be done.
So you're not asking for back child support for 2021?
No.
What about 2022?
No.
2023?
Oh, I'm 2020. I'm thinking about. Yes, I am asking for that. I'm
For
thinking
20?
about. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated right now. Like, I'm thinking about 2001. But yes, I am. He has not give any financial support 2021 all the way up until now. He bought clothes every year. He buys them at least 2 pair of shoes, maybe 4 outfits in the beginning of the year. But that doesn't last the whole year. This 2024, he picked them up to buy them some clothes. He brought them back home and he told them to leave their stuff in the car. They have not seen anything from him. They have not seen him. He doesn't pick them up for haircuts or anything. Their uncle takes them to get a haircut. My husband takes them to get a haircut. My mom even does it. So we don't get any. I pay their phone bills. I'm the reason why they establish a relationship with him, because I don't want to talk to him. I bought their phone. I buy their phones. I pay the bill every month and they speak to him. My oldest son has braces. I tried to ask him, can we go every other month with payments? The payments was $120. He sent $25 to my mom, and I never asked him again because it's always an issue. I am behind in payments for my son's braces right now because I don't receive help.
So if you could put a dollar amount on what he's provided in financial support, what would you say he's provided?
When he purchases the school clothes in the beginning of the year, I would say $500 to $700
Per year?
per year.
So how much per year? 700?
Yes. 500 to 700. If he's buying 2 pair of clothes for 2 pair of shoes for the boys and 4 outfits in the beginning of the year for the school year, the last year he said he spent $700. And that's it. He didn't buy, because my kids don't wear uniforms. I have to purchase clothes throughout the year. I have to purchase shoes throughout the year. They play sports. They want to be involved in things like camps and stuff. I have to pay for that. He does not help. They don't even get free school lunch. I have to put $50 a week on that. I don't get help with anything. The only thing he provides is a phone call, and I pay the phone bill for that phone call. And as far as the blocking of the phone calls, I did block him for a couple of months when the school first started because he causes issues with my older son. It's conflicting. It's I don't have the words to explain it right now, but like he uses him as a pawn to start. He calls him on FaceTime and they sit on the phone. He listens to everything that's going on in the house. Like, it's just crazy. He does certain things. So I had to block him from my son because it's keeping him from focusing in school. I unblocked him November the 3rd because my youngest son's birthday was coming up November the 10th, and I didn't want him to say that I wasn't allowing him to speak to the kids. I didn't give him the opportunity to call him for his birthday. But he has always come over here to see the boys. I've never stopped him. Even when he comes over here, instead of him taking them somewhere, he plays with them outside, which I don't have a problem with. But I've never given him an issue when he's here. It's never a problem. I paid for a college tour for him to go, my oldest son to go on, instead of him like saying, like, encouraging him. He told him, oh, you didn't have to do that this year. You could have waited till your senior year, and your mama wasted her money for that. Like, it's just stupid, ignorant stuff that goes on, and it's conflicting to my kids, and it's not acceptable. I don't want my kids to be confused growing up.
Ms. Tamani, do you have any questions?
No other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to try and break it down because maybe it's been a long day without food. But so who enrolled your children in school when they were with your mom? Like, was it you still? Were they enrolled at your address? Like, I'm not understanding what happened.
I enroll my kids in school.
And it's at your address?
Yes, this address here
I don't know where anyone lives.
in Chambers County.
So they've never been enrolled at your mother's address?
This is my mother's address.
Okay.
I live with my mom. I'm helping my mom. My mom is.
Wasn't there a period of time you didn't live with your mom?
I didn't live with my mom, but the kids were always enrolled with me in my address.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yes, the kids are always enrolled with me. My mom worked at the school. I worked at the school for a period of time.
Okay. You may call your next witness, Ms. Tamani.
Take calls, Mr. Kinman. Mr. Kinman, based on your testimony regarding the unemployment, are you in agreement to pay $401 a month for child support?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine. I don't want to hold you guys up. I haven't eaten either. I've been in here waiting, so I haven't eaten. I don't want to hold you guys up. I don't want to do the back and forth. I'm in agreement with paying her the $401 a month just to get this over with. We can end our day and continue on.
And you're in agreement to reimburse the $108 and the $39 for dental,
Yeah,
$108 for medical?
is all that included with the 401?
No, sir, that's a separate amount.
No, ma'am, I'm not in agreement with that. I'm in agreement with that being included into all of that coming out to be the 401 a month.
Mr. Kinman, were you working in 2021?
Falls under the no, ma'am. Not as far as a 9-to-5 job.
What kind of work were you doing in 2021?
I was driving with a friend, ma'am.
And when you say driving with a friend, what kind of work was that?
OTR, over the road. Transportation. Transportation.
And were you getting paid for that?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
How much were you getting paid?
Maybe like $500.
That was $500 weekly?
Sometimes it'll be whenever I went out with them, it just always varies. It wasn't like a set pay.
What about 2022?
Same
Were you
thing.
working?
I did that all the way up until April 9th of 2024. That's what I'm saying. I've always provided for my kids. These kids never have to worry about nothing when it comes to their father. They never have to question.
So your testimonies, you made about $500 a week between 2021 and 24?
Yeah, it varied. It wasn't, just always 500. Sometimes it'll be 300. It depends on the type of job that person had at the moment. So I don't want to lie and just be like, oh yeah, that's what I was getting, And I don't want to just say, oh yeah, it was guaranteed. That'd be a lie.
Judge, I would like to request a brief break.
Okay.
We're not ready on the retroactive part of this.
Okay, we can do that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we are back on the record. You may continue.
Your Honor, if I
You may continue.
I'll pass the witness on the. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. The state doesn't represent either of you. Is there anything else either one of you wants to say?
No, ma'am, not at the moment.
Okay, Ms. Brown?
I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Mr. Monty, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Your Honor, on the retroactive child support, my proposal would be to base the retroactive on minimum wage presumption for 4 years, 48 months, at $290 per month.
Okay, I'm going to approve the proposed child support review order with some modifications. I am modifying his gross resources. It's 1960 as gross resources, and I'm limited to the 1.5% for reimbursement for medical. So the child support with the new calculations will be $401 a month. November 1st, 2000, well, let's begin at March 6th, 2005. I'm sorry, April 1st, 2005. 2025, that's what I just said. Let me start over. Okay, so 1960 gross, which leaves child support at $401 a month, beginning April 1st, 2025. The cash medical reimbursement will be $108 per month, beginning April 1st, 2025. And the cash dental reimbursement will be $29, beginning April 1st of 2025. I'm ordering 4 years of back child support. I'm ordering $10,000. I'm ordering a judgment against Mr. Kinman for $10,000 as of March 5th, 2025, or I guess as of March 6th, 2025. And I'm ordering that he pay that back at a rate of $70 a month.
Can you repeat that, Judge?
$70 per month,
And what was that?
beginning April 1st, 2025.
And what was that $70 for?
I'm ordering I'm going to start all over. I'm confirming the child support review order as drafted. However, I'm making some modifications. I'm finding that Mr. Kinman's gross resources are $1,960. I'm recalculating child support based on that, as well as the cash dental support that I'm ordering Mr. Kinman to pay Ms. Brown is modified to $29 per month beginning April 1st, 2025. The cash medical support Mr. Kinman's order to pay to Ms. Brown is $108 per month beginning April 1st, 2025. The child support based on those numbers is being modified to $401 each month beginning April 1st of 2025. When there's one child, the step down will be to $320. I'm ordering 4 years of back child support. I'm ordering a $10,000 judgment against Mr. Kinman for back child support as of March 6th, 2025. Ordering that he pay that back at a rate of $70 per month beginning April 1st of 2025. And the rest of the order will remain the same.
You said $70 a month, correct, Judge?
Yes, 70.
Just can I ask, how did you
One moment,
come up
sir.
with
The state's going to draft the order based on my ruling today, and they'll send it to me through DocuSign to review and sign off on. What is your question, sir?
Oh, I was just going to ask, how did you come up with the 1960?
Based on your testimony, sir, of what you're receiving right now in unemployment.
Yeah, I'm not receiving 1960 unemployment.
That's pre-taxes. If you have questions, I'll let you go back to the breakout room and talk to the Assistant Attorney General's office or the Attorney General's office about it. And you can discuss with them your options. But based on the testimony presented, that is my ruling. And you are both free to go unless you have questions that you'd like to talk to the Attorney General's office about.
I'm done. I'm good. I'm cool.
We're going to stop the recording.